The trade war heating up this week as President Trump announces a 25% tariff on cars imported to the United States. It comes ahead of his plan to roll out more retaliatory tariffs next Tuesday. To Lebenthal Global Advisors President Dominick Tavella on the impact for consumers. So, Dominick, thank you for being here. I'm just curious, if I'm out there thinking I'm going to be buying a car in the next year or two, as a consumer, what should I expect?
At this point, it's undetermined. We literally don't know at the end of the day who is going to pay these tariffs, whether it's the manufacturer in Japan or in Germany, or it's going to be the dealership when it's imported into this country, or at the end game, it's going to be the consumer who may or may not decide to buy that vehicle completely. So it's completely undetermined yet what the effects of these tariffs are going to be going forward. But today, we do know the consumer has tightened up on their spending. Businesses have tightened up on their hiring because they're dealing with all this unknown. So we're already starting to see slowing economic activity.
Okay, so we all are in kind of a wait and see moment right now. So yesterday, President Trump spoke with the new Canadian Prime Minister and said on Truth Social that it was an extremely productive call. However, this country, Canada, is now prepping for 25% tariff on all Canadian imports. Here's the new Prime Minister. Take a listen.
The old relationship we had with the United States, based on deepening integration of our economies and tight security and military cooperation, is over. It will take hard work. It will take steady and focused determination from governments, from businesses, from labor, from Canadians. We will need to dramatically reduce our reliance on the United States.
Dominick, what are your thoughts on that as we head to April 2nd, this deadline?
Yeah, this is extremely troubling to Canadians. There's a large number of jobs that their economy depends on products that are produced and exported into the United States. Those jobs eventually, if this stays status quo, are going to shift into the United States. So they lose their jobs. They're going to have to think about where in the world can we shift our products? Can we ship lumber and fuel over to China or over to Europe? That kind of thing does not happen in a day. So this is quite negative for their economy as well. Maybe a lot worse than ours. So they can't really be happy right now with the situation. Again, the hope is at some point they come with a compromise, they come with a middle ground, not quite as onerous on them, quite not as negative on us as well, but that yet to be determined. And this is thus the big uncertainty that we're all dealing with.
You know, Dominick, we heard earlier in the show the president saying that he's also considering bringing pharmaceuticals into the fold when it comes to this trade war and placing tariffs on those. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we went through this with COVID, where a lot of the products and medications and pharmaceuticals were produced in China and around the world, and we couldn't get our hands on them, right? Because the global supply chain had literally come to a dead stop. So on a bigger scale, we do want to think about, hey, we need to have some of these things produced here in this country. And most recently, the computer chips that if, God forbid, something happened in Taiwan, we wouldn't have access to them. So having them manufactured here is a positive. The negative is it just doesn't happen in a day. The idea of creating a factory, hiring people, manufacturing facilities, bringing in technology, bringing in the raw material to do this, it just doesn't happen in a day. And so the short-term implications are actually quite negative.
Okay, well, we will continue to follow. Dominick Tavella, thank you so much.
Thank you.